In ancient times, human had a different way of life. Man always had to be prepared for war or outside attack, because there was always a lot of chance to get attacked by foreign invaders at any moment. And that's why most of the country or states used to set up massive defensive walls around itself for added protection. Basically, in Greece, most of the city used to build walls for its safety. But the Sparta has a different story. They don't believe in walls. They think that setting up a wall is waste of time and money. The wall is unnecessary for them. They said we don't need a wall while we have the most feared warriors in the world. The Sparta did not focus on building massive walls. They focused on building powerful, strong army of the warriors. So the Spartans are recognized as the sign of bravery, fearless, courage, discipline to the whole world. We all know that, and we all want to have courage and discipline like a Spartan. But the question is, how? So today we are going to know how was life like a Spartan? How was their attitude? And what makes them different from the whole world? To figure out the answer of these questions, I have studied and read many books about Sparta's nature and culture. And finally, I came across some of their great attitudes. There were secrets, there were skills. I'm going to tell you 7 attitudes of a Sparta, and if you apply these 7 attitudes in your life, you will have that level of discipline and courage. You will be the master of your fate. You will be the captain of your soul. Number 1. For a Sparta, training is everything. The training of a Spartan begins at a very early age. Every Spartans are brought in the field of training from the time they could stand, and they are told 2 most valuable lines. He who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. At the age 7, children were taken to a gogi, a mandatory, rigorous, and intense military training program with one main purpose: to turn a boy into a Spartan warrior. From that moment on, a Spartan child no longer belonged to his parents. Through these 14 years of relentless and harsh and often brutal training, the Spartan boys learn how to fight, how to be strong and fearless. The Spartans prized physical perfection above all else. As the young Spartans grew, they were required to exercise more and more to build their bodies. In order to stay in peak physical condition, Spartan boys endured brutal contests. To ensure resilience in battle, the boys were encouraged to fight among themselves. The young Spartans were also taught how to read, write, and dance, which taught them graceful control of their movement and helped them in combat. To make life even tougher, Sparta trained their boy in brutal way. Training is everything for Sparta. The question is, do you train yourself? If not, then train yourself, because the more you train, the more you become powerful to face the rain and a storm. Number 2, the Spartans put themselves in tough times to become unbroken and undefeated. In order to better prepare the boys for the conditions of war, the Spartan boys were poorly fed, sometimes even going days without eating. They also were given little and thin in the way of clothing, to make them learn to endure heat and cold. To toughen them up even more, the Spartan boys were compelled to go barefoot and seldom bathed, so that their skin became hard and dry. Also, the Spartan boys made their own beds from plants that they had to rip out of the grounds with their bare hands from the river banks. The Spartan boys were encouraged to steal food in order to survive, but if they were caught, they would be punished, not because of they stole, but because they were caught in the act. So do you test yourself? Do you put yourself in tough times? If you are doing something and after a moment you feel that just no more, I will not be able to do any more, what would you do in that situation? Will you bear all the pain and complete that work? Or will you blame yourself and give up? It depends on you. If you are already testing yourself daily, if you practice tough situation like running on midday, running in cold temperature, then you are not gonna give up because you already feel that pain and gone through it. Number 3, the Spartan never give up. There was a law in Sparta called Spartan law, and that was never give up. No retreat, no surrender. We will stand and fight and die. A new age has begun. An age of freedom, and all will know that 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it. They were also taught that it is a matter of pride to be martyred for the Sparta in the battle. Before going to war, they were told one thing: come back with your shield or won it. And this line always echoes in my heart, because after hearing this, I felt one thing: do or die. Because if you won't, if you give up without completing your task, if you never try again because of pain, then you may not die physically, but you will die mentally or spiritually. You will always regret it for not taking action, for not doing what you started. So do it anyway. Never give up, never surrender. Feel the pain and go through it. There is no such thing as surrender in Sparta. So if you think you are applying Spartan law in your life, then never give up, never surrender. Number 4, there is no room for weakness in Sparta. On the day of their birth, elder Spartan leader examined every newborn child, and if any children found to be unhealthy or weak, they may have been left on the mountains to die, because there was no place for weakness in Sparta. Every Spartan boy or girl was expected to be physically strong, mentally sharp, and emotionally resilient. During training, Spartans were tossed into the world at night alone, so that a Spartan can face the havoc of nature with his courage. That night in the wild is an exam of his courage. They say that if he returns, he will return like a brave Spartan, or he will die there, because there is no room for softness in Sparta. There is no place for weakness. Only hard and strong people may call themselves a real Spartan. Only hard and only strong people. Number 5, the power of Sparta women. There was a saying in Sparta that only Spartan women give birth to real men. Once the Gorgo, the queen of Sparta and the wife of Leonidas, been asked, "Why are you Spartan women the only ones who can rule men?" She replied, "Because we are also the only ones who gave birth to men." In Sparta, it was believed that only strong and capable women could bear the children that one day become strong and capable warrior. Because mother is the first teacher to every children. A child learns everything from his mother. That's why girls in Sparta attended school. Their curriculum included the arts, music, dance, reading and writing. And to stay in top physical condition, they learned a variety of sports such as discus, javelin, and horseback riding. Upon their death, only men who died in battle and women who died in childbirth were given tombstones. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you truly believed that this video is helpful, then make sure to share it and subscribe this channel to get more inspiring videos.